Hello, everybody, and welcome. I just want to show you what's on the workbench today. This is, I don't remember what year it is, but it's early 2000, late 90s, early 2000. Looks like it might be a 1998. This is a 110. It's not a cutaway and it's not an electric, so it's just a model 110. And it is a Taylor, if you can see. And this thing needs a lot of work. It's been neglected for many, many, many years. So basically what we're going to do to it is we're going to get some numbers off of it. The neck needs to be reset. Fortunately, this is a Taylor, so it's just a bolt-on neck. No, it doesn't bolt on from back here. It bolts on from inside, which I'll be showing you. It needs a super duper cleanup because this was never this orange. This was a lighter blonde color. So we got to do that. We got to get a new saddle in it because it's been lowered because the neck needs to be reset and I didn't have time to do it. So first off, let's get some adjustments or some measurements so we know what kind of adjustments we need to do. Now, running straight off the fretboard, which if you guys can see, let's get you down here just a little bit. Running straight off the fretboard, which is this, on top of the frets, which are the metal things going this way, it should be just a little bit over the saddle, or the bridge, actually. And I want it about even with the top of this saddle. That way when I put my higher saddle on there to give myself string tension to get the sound back to it, then we'll kind of know what to do. We're going to get two types of measurements here. First is going to be with it strung, and then the next will be with it unstrung. So let's get busy and get that done. So we're going to run this flat bar all the way down until it hits, leaving it flat on the frets. And we hit the tailpiece, I'm going to say, if I had to guess, let me get my gauge here. If I had to guess, I would say that is approximately, I'm going to say 20, maybe 15 thousandths of an inch. And I need to come up about that much, which is going to be the difference of about, let me see if I can find my micrometers here. And if we're working in inches, it needs to come up approximately, let's see here. I'm going to say it needs to come up approximately 20 thousandths of an inch. Actually, it's more than that. I don't know. This is not reading the same thing as I'm reading there. So let's do this in a normal way, and we'll go to what should be in inches that I know the readings of, which is a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So that's what we need to do the neck reset to. So now that we've got that, let's give it a sound listen real quick so we can tell the difference. See, if you can hear that, that's how high the action is. I'm having to push down extremely hard. you can see that's not very loud at all. And one of the reasons is I don't have enough tension on my strings back here. They're just laying flat. So that's the reason for the neck reset. And it needs new strings. So let's get this thing, oh well, let's check the action at the 12th fret. The action at the 12th fret, and I want this to be about 90 thousandths of an inch. Oh well, we're over, my gauge only goes up to 140. We're probably at least 150 on the low E. And the high E, we're at about 120. And the most that I would want would be 90 and about 70. I'll settle for, well, what I would like would be 80 and probably 70. Something like that. So we have to come down quite a bit. I'm going to write those numbers down real quick, and I'll bring you back and we'll check the relief of the neck. All right, so I got those wrote down, and now we're going to take a capo and put it on the 3rd fret, and then fret the 12th and see what my relief is. Oh man, I hardly have any relief, I don't think, which is good. Let's try to get an exact measurement. I think it's going to be very low, like probably 3 or less. And I don't even know that if I can go that low. It's sure not looking like it. Oh, there's a 4. Let's see. There's a 3. Let me get a paper towel. These gauges are new and they've still got oil that they're packed in on it. So let's try 3 to start out with. So we'll get it back here, get it on there. No, it's more than 3. I think like Martin does it at like 6 to 8 thousandths, no more than 10 thousandths. Let's see, there's a 4. Let's go with a 5. Let's see how 5 goes in it. It's probably a 4 and 3/4. 5 is just a little bit, but it does fit under there. But it does rub just a little bit. So that's about perfect. I will not change that, which is done by the truss rod up here underneath the truss rod cover. So we've got our measurements. I'm just going to call that 05. 05 relief. And then we've got our measurement down here, which we know saddle height is roughly a 1/4 inch. So I think that's it. But we also have something else to take care of on this, which I will show you real quick. See these cool pinstripes? I put them on there a long, long time ago. But if you take this one off, you will see a nasty crack. I don't know how well that's going to show up in camera, but let's grab a piece of paper here. Okay, that's too flimsy. Let's grab a thin pick. There we go. I can stick that thin pick in there. Now that's a little tight. It'd probably do like a business card would be about perfect. But so we've got, and it is loose. I can push on each side of it and see it move. So we've got to hydrate this or do something to get that crack to close. But first we got to clean the crack out because I have previously tried to glue it. And this guitar just needs a whole lot of cleaning and a whole lot of work. And we're going to get her done. So let's get started by taking the strings off. I'll take the first one off so you guys can see me take it off. And all I'm doing is I put little curls at the ends of these. And I'm just going to try to get that curl to come out real quick. Okay, so I'll show you real quick how to take one of them off. We're going to do the low E. And we're going to loosen it up. I'm not going to cut these strings off because I have kids that play guitar. And they're all the time breaking strings. And it's always nice to have an extra used string laying around. So you don't have to break into a new pack. Then we're just going to take and unwind the windings on it until it comes out. Then we're going to go down here with my bridge pin removal, if I can find it. Aha, here's one, which is a regular string winder, and it's got a little thing there in case you didn't know it, and that will pop an end pin out. Now everybody says these end pins got to be in certain places and go back exactly where it was. And I don't agree with that, not whatsoever. So I'm not going to try. Oh, and I also learned how to angle these, so we'll be doing that. So I'm not going to worry about putting them in a certain place. And then we take the string out, and then we'll wind it around our hands. And then we'll wind this up, and the tail end up, and wind the tail end up again. And then there you've got a decent used string. It'll get you by until you get to the music store. So let me get this thing all apart and I'll bring you guys right back. Alright, so I got the strings off. I was able to get the nut off up here, but was not able to get the saddle off down here yet. It's so low I can't hardly get a hold of it. But look, I started cleaning it. Now this, where you see the 3 fingerprints, the light color, that was off the body itself. The darker brown right there is just from one of the tuner keys. I don't know if I can show you that. See that there's fairly clean? Turn it over and it's extremely, extremely dirty. See how dirty that one is? Like look, I'll turn this one here back around to shiny. And you can see shiny. Try to get a little light shining on it. Shiny, dirty, dirty. I am embarrassed. My guitars should never have been this dirty. But I am going to take the keys off of it and everything. We do have a little bit of a split here in the neck. No, the neck didn't break. It broke on grain lines. Well, it separated on grain lines. And I did just find another crack right here. You can hear my fingernails that goes over it. So let's continue taking it apart a little bit farther and we'll get to where we need to be. And just a little side note while I finished taking off the truss rug cover. 3 screws take the truss rug cover out. You can see it's not showing up good in camera how clean it is there and how dirty it is there. Let me show you the nut up here. I took this out. You see how that thing is brown? That's the color it's supposed to be. It's bone. Well, it's tusk. So, yeah. This thing is just downright dirty. So I'll let you guys watch me while I take a key off, which is the tuning keys right here. Then all you gotta do is just basically take your little nuts off and this little grommet and push it through the back. And I will put these back in whichever ones they come out of. Yeah, those are going to be extremely, extremely hard to clean. Let me try something here. All I use is naphtha or lighter fluid to clean with. Okay, now you see how grungy that is? See, you don't hardly see no shine. Take a little bit of lighter fluid, and that's all we're going to rub it right there. Look how nice and shiny and chrome that is. And it's still got streaks on it because I didn't dry it. Look at that. But I can tell you, like I said, I can't remember if I got this guitar 96, 98, somewhere thereabouts. basically what happened was, while I was waiting on my, at the time, girlfriend, or I think, maybe she was my wife already, I don't know. Anyways, I was waiting on her to get her nails done. I ended up going into a music shop, and they had Taylor, well, I don't know how long they had been out. It's the first time that I had heard of them. And all they had in stock was baby Taylors, which were smaller than this. And the guy there just told me, he said, pick one of them up and play it. And I picked it up and played it, and I just couldn't believe the sound. They had, I think, 9 of them in stock. I bought, or I didn't buy one. I played all 9 of them. And every one of them sounded the same. And basically, the best way that I can put it is sometimes Martins can be too deep and boomy and bassy, I guess. And I never did much care for that, even though I played a Martin at the time. And Gibsons, like the Hummingbirds and the Songwriter and stuff like that, had a better sound, but they were too tinny, almost toyish sounding for me. So I didn't like those. This was kind of like right in the middle. And I tell you the way I've always described it to everybody, it's kind of like when playing an electric guitar. If you play a Fender Strat or a Gibson Les Paul or something like that, then yes, you probably need a Martin, if that's the sound you like. But if you play a Telecaster with that twang on that rear pickup, that's what this has. It has that twang to it. So, anyways, all right, there's all the keys. And I'm just going to, real quick, take this naphtha, or lighter fluid. I will always call it naphtha, but it's lighter fluid. And I'm going to do half the headstock. Look at that. That's all dirt, people. Alright, it's not going to show up very good in camera, I don't think. You can see the difference? That's how. But I probably haven't cleaned this thing in 10 years or more. So, it's due to. Boy, it sure looks like I might have glued that bridge in. I wouldn't think I would have, but we'll soon find out. Alright, so on with the tearing apart. Alright, I figured I'd bring you back on this because it's kind of important. You got to have an Allen wrench because at the bottom, under this, inside, facing up toward the sky, there's an Allen wrench or Allen bolt. You just got to take an Allen wrench in there, loosen it up, pull it out. That holds this fingerboard extension on. Then I just use like a 7/16 nut driver, and you've got 2 bolts behind a sticker. You got to take the Taylor sticker off that faces forward towards your keys. Just take like a hair dryer or something in there and warm it up a little bit, and normally they'll pull right out. If you rip them, you can get replacement ones from Taylor. I never even put mine back in from the last time I did this. So, anyways, you got the 2 bolts facing forward and the 1 bolt facing up. And then all you got to do is just kind of rock it out. Oh, and there was actually glue in there. So maybe I didn't do this. I did not. I can actually see. Now, I think that's from there was tape in here. I might have done that. It looks like it was a -4 here at one time. And I don't have one here, which is kind of concerning. I thought there was one here. Well, I'll be. Anyways, now there's one right there. Part of one. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what that glue is. I don't see my razor blade knife, so before I get too rambunctious and try to take that out of there, let me just kind of see. Yeah, it'll move. Get rid of that tape gunk. I don't know if this in here, I would never have added to these. And these have been added to. Yeah, just one layer of tape. I would have never done that. But I had to. I don't know. Yeah, here's another layer of tape. So there was two layers of tape on it. Now, there's another layer of tape. Trying to shim it. Now, it is going to have to be shimmed out. But instead of shimming it out, what I'll do is I'll go from whatever this measurement is. Let's get a quick measurement on it. I will go from... Let's see what this is. Let's do it in millimeters. We're zeroed out. So we're looking at roughly 2.6 millimeter. I will go basically 2.6 millimeter down to nothing. And see if that doesn't give me the angle that I need. And if I need to go any more, then I can order a larger shim, a thicker shim, like a 3.6 millimeter. And go from it down to nothing. I'm going to take this tape out of here. I cannot imagine. Okay, so the original one is a -2. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it'll go from that number, which is 2.3, down to 2.3. So this one doesn't have a taper to it. Well, I guess what I thought I knew about tailors, I guess I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go from 2.3 down to 0. And then we'll adjust this one that's in the top of the body. Because it causes the angle. Actually, that was almost out of there. I wish I had pushed it back down in there now. There we go. We'll try to get a measurement on that. But we're going to take some tape and it looks like a business card. Oh, yep, I did this. Yep, I sure did because there's part of my business card right there. Wow. I don't know what I was thinking back then. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get all this off of there. And we'll try to get a quick measurement. I don't even know if I can get this stuff off of there. I guess I glued it and taped it. Or is that bottom layer there taped too? I think that bottom layer is taped. That's kind of funny. And I can tell you, when I worked on this, I lived in Bell Center, Ohio, which was back when Lori was 1 or 2 at the most. So that's had to have been 20 years ago. So this guitar has probably not been cleaned or adjusted in 20 years. So, yeah, shame on me, right? But it's going to get the love that it deserves now. And when we have it back up, we'll be playing it all the time. That lighter fluid also does great on glue residue, which is what's on here. Oh, yeah, we still got to measure this, right? Now, this says... Let me finish cleaning this off. Get a little bit more on here. I'm not, excuse me, I'm not a professional at this. Nor have I ever claimed to be. And apparently 20 years ago, I definitely wasn't. But I have learned a lot here recently, which is what makes me want to do this. I learned how to take all the measurements, and I learned not to shim it with tape and business cards. All right, this says it's a -4. Now, from what I understood, was that meant that goodness, that lighter fluid is strong. But from what I understood, that whatever measurement you got at one end, you get 4 inches more or 4 inches less at the other, depending on which way it's sloped. So let me verify that is wrong on this one. So this one is 1.7 millimeter at this end. And 1.5. So, well, no. 1.5 if I kind of push it tight. 1.7. That's only a 2. Maybe my calipers aren't exactly accurate. I don't know. But that's what the other one should have read. Anyways, let me get these cleaned up and put off to the side. And we'll continue on. All right, so I think we've gone about as far as we're going to go on this one today. I did get this bridge saddle out. It was pretty well stuck in there, and it's got a shim and all kinds of junk underneath of it. It looks like this was also drilled out for a piezo. Maybe I had a piezo pickup in it at one time. But I do remember doing this. See these little slots in here? I was trying to get the action low. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand how Taylor adjustable necks worked. And that's just what happened. So I think it's not very deep. I would say at the deepest, we would be looking at, that one there looks about the deepest. .4 of a millimeter, so that's not very deep at all. I think I might end up sanding the top of this bridge to get rid of that mistake. Now that I've learned a lot more about them and I know what to do, man, I wish I could show you all the dirt without any lighter fluid, without anything. I don't know if you can see all that dirt or not. That was in front of the bridge. And I still didn't even get it good. I should be embarrassed. And I am, somewhat. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to order up a new bridge for it. Or a new saddle for it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a saddle yet. I did go ahead and order strings and everything. And I'll tell you all about that. It's very important what strings I run on this. So let's take this pick right here. And let's just make sure that this bridge isn't up any at all. Taylor's usually really good about that not happening. Yeah, no, this bridge is solid all the way around. So I really have no major repair to do. I have a ton of cleaning to do. I'm going to fix this crack. I can see this crack now. It is moving, so I will fix that. And I might even be able to cleat that one easy. This one here has not been cleated. So I think I will cleat it. I will explain that process and show you. But I would like to, at one time when this crack first happened, and this crack happened due to moisture. It dried out in the wintertime. I think the first winter I had it, and it cracked. Yeah, I was supposed to keep a humidifier in the case and everything, and I didn't. My fault. But like that summer, it closed back up. You couldn't see it. And what I was going to do was wait until that winter for it to open back up and then glue it. And then I thought, well, it might take months for it to go back apart. But that's what I did. and the glue was in there, and it didn't hold very well. So now I got to sit here and pick all that out, and then make a clamp, and maybe I can get it to clamp together and get it to where you won't even be able to see that crack. Then I can just take these black lines off. But you know what? Them black lines have been on there for, oh goodness, 20 years? Yeah, probably. Like I said, what was kind of funny was finding my business card under there. Now, that would have been in about 2001, 2002. So if I bought the guitar in 96, 98, 7, 8, 9, it could have been 5 years old. And that would be about time it would probably need some adjustments and some love. So I can see that. But that business card says, everybody knows my business now is called Indian Lake Mobile Home Repair. And that business was called Budget Complete Modular Maintenance. I got tired of answering the phone like that, so I changed the name. So that, like I said, it's been at least 20 years since I've cleaned or worked on this. And I think I can get it all with some careful calculations of going from this down to 0. I think will give me what I need on height with a new saddle. And I will order the new saddle tonight, and it'll be a compensated saddle, and it will be a tusk saddle. And I got to look that maybe I didn't already order one. I have a bag. I think it's up there. I'll have to look in there and make sure that maybe years ago I didn't order one. But anyways, so that's going to be it for this video. I mean, 30 minutes into you. I know you guys don't like videos about working on instruments and stuff, but this instrument is very near and dear to my heart. I've had it for, I feel like 100 years. You know, it's guitar's got a lot of memories behind it. So it's time to do it some good, do it some justice, and clean it up, make it know that it's still loved, and start playing it again. All right, so let's get you guys up here. So with all that being said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to follow us on Facebook under General Vlog Video. Even though by the time you watch this, the channel name may have changed, that will still be our Facebook, and when I change all that, I'll let you know. But go ahead and do all the thumbs up, comment down below. Even if it's, you know, just hi, any of the comments keeps us in the algorithm on YouTube. And it's very, very, very appreciated. We are very appreciative. There you go. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and even better tomorrow, and an awesome night. Next live stream. And don't forget, I may have a cool setup here that we're getting ready to have done, but I'm still my own cameraman, which means I got to get up close and personal and gently poke you guys near to turn this video off. With that being said, please be safe.